Hey, and welcome to another 10 Commandments for Your Mind segment. Here I'm going to go ahead and briefly talk about the eighth commandment. The eighth commandment goes like this: Thou should explore your mind. Yes, go ahead and explore your mind. What does explore mean? What do I mean by that? Explore means go ahead and become familiar with your mind. Go ahead and test the capacity of your mind. Go ahead and learn about your mind. Learn about its capability. That's what I mean by thou should explore your mind. If you think about the ways you have explored the potential of your body, you will realize that, hey, you've learned to feel the air by walking, by running, by skiing, by learning how to ride a bike. You've learned to utilize your fingers and coordinate with your hands, whether it's to type on a computer, sending emails, or whether it's making coffee and taking orders at a fast food restaurant. These are the ways you've explored your body's potential so far. What the 10 Commandments encourages is go ahead and explore what happens when you give your thoughts an opportunity to explore itself. What happens when you put an intention towards what you want to think about? So thou should explore your mind. If you look at this image behind me, you will see that the rider is getting ready to stretch the legs of its horse, because the horse does like to stretch its legs out and run and feel the air, right? The rider is able to see more, is able to move at a faster speed because the rider has created a connection with that horse, and now the rider is ready to explore. And because the rider has created a connection, the rider can explore more, see more because of its power, of its horse. That is the same way that our mind works. Once you begin to tell your mind, this is what I want to think about, this is where I want to be, your mind will move at a much faster speed. And only you can feel the power of your mind, right? Go ahead and train your mind. You should nurture your mind. You should be the one to tell your mind what to think about. So now I'm saying go ahead and explore that mind. Tap into your thoughts. Tap into the creativity, to the imagination, and see where you will get, because you are moving at a very different speed once you've created that connection with your mind. One practical example I can think of is, have you ever heard of the phrase being closed-minded, being narrow-minded, being open-minded, right? Now, if you take those phrases and apply it to this image right here, right, to this analogy that we have been exploring so far, when you're closed-minded, when you're narrow-minded, you are saying that you are comfortable in the territory that you are. The capability of your horse, the desire for your horse to stretch its legs out is hardly important. But when you are open-minded, you recognize that your horse likes to stretch its legs out. And you're saying, all right, let's go for a ride. Let's go for a run. When you are closed-minded, you are saying that you know enough about the world. You are content with how much you know when you're narrow-minded. And you're saying, I think this is my world and this is where I'm content with. But when you're open-minded, you are willing to explore new ideas. Some may suck, and then you may come back and say, hey, that was a terrible idea. But some may change the encyclopedia of your life. That's what being open-minded is. Well, if you listen to the shout-outs I usually give, it's usually to ideas, to inventions, to people that chose to be open-minded at a time period when being open-minded was maybe not the best idea. But what they chose to do was being open-minded for their time period, because that's what they felt. They let their minds explore creativity. They let their minds explore imagination. And that is so important when it comes to being open-minded. Go ahead and stretch your thoughts out. Go ahead and explore your mind. Go ahead, thou should explore your mind. Another example that I can think of is the rapper Eminem. When he came out with his song called Lose Yourself, right? I think we're familiar with the rapper Eminem, but in the song Lose Yourself, it was based off of the movie that helped portray his life story, where he grew up in a poor town, and he felt like his skills of rapping was the only way he could move forward than his own parents had shown him. And in the end of that music video, or in the end of that track, he will say to you, he'll look in the camera and he'll say to you, you can do anything you set your mind to. Is that what the eighth commandment is suggesting? Thou should explore your mind. Because when you go ahead and explore your mind, you can do anything you set your mind to. Because once you start exploring, you're being open-minded. And once you begin to tell your thoughts, this is what I would like to think about, your thoughts will help you get there. Eminem was able to get there, and he knows what he's talking about. And with conviction, he can say to you, you can do anything you set your mind to. And so with conviction, I can also say to you, go ahead, thou should explore your mind. Go ahead and explore your mind. Want more of Preach with Prag? How about you go ahead and subscribe to our Rise and Shine to Your Purpose newsletter, available only on preachwithprag.com. Here I'll provide you a weekly message to guide you throughout the week and check in with you with a wellness questionnaire. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe to Rise and Shine to Your Purpose newsletter, available only on preachwithprag.com.